if you have a personal gripe against him, not just on Iraq, but on a whole range of policies. By the way, Tony Blair's cronies don't run the House of Lords. We're the third largest group in the Lords after the Conservative Party, which has been packed since Boris Johnson came in, and the crossbenchers. So, forget the packing the House of Lords nonsense. We can have disagreements. We can fundamentally disagree on policy, as clearly Angus does. You can dislike an individual, but you can also respect the fact that they have done enormous good, and that their position and what they did with that position can also have done a great deal of good as well as harm. Now we can argue until the cows come home about Iraq. I could spend the rest of the next hour talking to you about what happened
I'm sure.
with
well,
Iraq.
You were around the cabinet table when these decisions were being discussed.
And people voted in Parliament, yes, with good faith. Some of which turned out to be incorrect. But this wasn't a Tony Blair decision alone, and I'm prepared to take my share of responsibility for what happened, not in terms of going in with the Americans, which I thought was right, but the fiasco afterwards, which I thought was a total mess, which happened there. Let me just put it this way. Tony Blair would deserve an acknowledgement, a recognition for the Northern Ireland Good Friday Agreement alone. Talk about saving lives and losing lives. The lives that have been saved in Northern Ireland since 1998 is absolutely phenomenal. The lives saved in Kosovo, the lives saved in Sierra Leone. Okay, we can argue about Iraq, but in the end, you have to say, is there a balance here? You see, I didn't disagree with Margaret Thatcher being made a Baroness and other awards. I didn't disagree with the accolades that were poured onto Churchill, even though in his early days, before he was Prime Minister in 1940, did all kinds of things that people fundamentally disagreed with. So if we disagree with someone, we have a fundamental policy difference with them, they shouldn't get a recognition, then forget it. Let's just abolish the whole system. My view, by the way, and I agreed with your last communicator before Angus came on, is that there are far too many gongs given out to celebrities and sports people and people have just done their job, including senior civil servants.
Because it's not a bad gig, is it, at post office when you've been a Prime Minister, whether you happen to be Mrs T or Mr Blair or anybody else for that matter. You go on the speaking circuit, you publish a book, and it's essentially a license to print money. So you've got quite a good deal already. You don't need a gong.
By the way, there's a thing. I don't know how many of those listening, including Angus, are aware of what Tony Blair's actually done with quite a lot of the resource.
Bought 7 houses, didn't he?
Well, he certainly has, but he put £4 million from the book proceeds into the charity dealing with ex-servicemen. He has set up the Blair Foundation. A large, and I mean a large amount of money has gone into trying to improve governance and turn things around in Africa, from Rwanda right the way through to Uganda. If you don't know these things, you don't know them. But I do, and so I know that he's done well. And God help us, we don't provide for ex-prime ministers. So they expect to be able to take advantage of the position as long as it lasts, and it's 15 years this year since Tony Blair vacated the premiership in 2007. So, takes your money, pays your choice. I think he deserved it. I think a lot of other people deserve it who don't get it. I think there should be a much greater balance across the country. When the London and South East get 60% of the CBEs and above, there's something amiss with the system. But it's not Tony Blair that's amiss, it's the system.
Do you still see your mate Tony?
I do from time to time. We have robust conversations, as we did when I was in Cabinet. The great strength of Tony Blair was he would have a damn good debate and argument with you and remain friends. You can't say that about many people.
David Blunkett, thank you for your time. Lord David Blunkett.